hope we're all doing really, really well. In terms of the law of attraction, there are different types of techniques to manifesting. There are affirmations, there is acting as if, there is scripting, and there is visualization, amongst different types of other techniques. But I'm going to be talking to you guys about visualization, why it's the most important one and the most powerful, and how you can use it to your advantage in order to get literally anything and anyone that you want, really. So let's get into it. But before we do, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. So, just a quick background, my law of attraction journey started in 2016 when I started doing dream boards, and then all of 2016, everything that happened on my dream board actually happened in real life, like to the T. It was insane. I was like, maybe this law of attraction thing is actually working. So I started visualizing a little bit, and that's when it really took off. And I was visualizing for about 2 to 3 years. I got so many things that I didn't think that I would in my wildest dreams, and I'm so appreciative for that. I mean, along with my hard work and a bunch of other factors, until I started delving deeper into spirituality and manifesting more and thinking, how can I use this to the fullest potential? And you know, it just interested me. So I did find out about affirmations and scripting. That happened all throughout 2019 basically, and I kind of put visualization to the side just because I knew that I had mastered it and there's so much more to learn about spirituality, that, you know, I was scripting, I was affirming, I was doing all this stuff, and I still do it. But I came back to a whole 360 and realized that personally for me, visualization is genuinely the best technique. The first step is definitely to figure out what one works for you. So how do you visualize? Now, I've talked about this briefly in my other videos, and in the description box down below, I will be linking all of the law of attraction type of videos. If you want to check that out, go ahead, be my guest. But just really quickly, you need to be in a high vibration, you need to be in a good mood. You know, for me, it's having coffee, having like an awesome, you know, hype up hip hop song, and you know, I'm walking to work or I'm just going for a walk or something. Basically, I'm just in a good mood, and that's when you want to visualize specifically what you want. Now, you can visualize anything that you want, but you need to visualize one thing and focus in on that in that one moment. In 20 minutes, you know, in an hour, you can visualize something else, but I like to focus on specifically one thing. Now, for example, I want to move to New York. Now, I always do this, and I visualize myself sitting in a cafe and in like a New York sort of setting, or in a Brooklyn apartment, looking over the view, being like, wow, I'm so grateful that this is mine, and actually genuinely feeling those emotions as if I'm there now. So you have to put yourself in that moment, in whatever it is that you want, and sort of trick your brain into thinking that that's where you are right now. That is the best, that is the most powerful way of achieving anything that you want, the feeling. And there's this other side where there's a theory that it's the thinking, not the feeling, that creates what you want. And while I believe that on a day-to-day basis, on the micro, for example, if you have limiting beliefs, just switching your thinking and saying, no, actually, I'm not fat, like, I'm healthy and I'm fit. Switching that, yes, powerful. But in terms of goals and getting what you want in the future, I think that visualization and feeling is truly more powerful than thinking about it and affirming. So what you want to do is have the feeling of you being in New York. How are you going to feel? I will feel accomplished of myself. I would feel excited, happy, you know, at home, being grateful that I'm in New York. And then I'd imagine myself walking in Central Park. I'd be sitting in my office where I'd love to work, and with like these amazing people around me and all of my friends, and just having the best, funnest time. And the most important factor, the tipping point, the climax, is you literally beaming from ear to ear and being so incredibly happy with yourself. That's when you know that it's going to work. When you are at that pinnacle point that you are so freaking happy, so freaking elated. Even if you have to fake it, even if you feel ridiculous and you just keep on practicing and practicing and practicing, have that goal of, okay, when I do visualize, it's almost going to be a sort of meditation, and I'm going to get up to that point where I'm just like so happy, like, oh my freaking god. Like, how happy would you be if right now you got your goal? How happy, how accomplished, how successful, how whatever, insert the word here, would you feel It's amazing, right? Like, you want to lose 20 kilograms. Like, actually imagine how it feels like, because sometimes we think of a goal and it's so far away that we kind of just think of the theory of it, like, yes, I want to be 20 kilograms, but do we ever really think how it's going to be 20 kilograms? You know what I mean? So, 2018, I manifested traveling all around the world. In 2019, that translated into the next year. I, with visualization, manifested and visualized my job at Daily Mail at the very start. So, when I got the interview, I was just visualizing a man shaking my head and being like, congratulations, you got the job. I put that on my dream board even before I got that interview, and it happened. I would visualize getting interviews for New York. The amount of times that happened, it's incredible. Now, I used to do this in the long term and things that I would really, really want down the line, or like huge ass things, like moving to New York. But you can actually do this in small sort of micro settings. For example, visualizing the date that you're going to be in an hour, manifesting and visualizing you guys laughing and having the conversation flowing and just having a fun, comfortable time with that person, or whatever it is that you want out of that day. Visualize that. It doesn't have to be a whole huge thing. At the very start, I was very nervous at my job in my work setting, and I would visualize myself cracking up with my coworkers and laughing. And to me, that had never happened before. But I just imagined cracking up with my coworkers. And literally the next day, it was the first time where I broke the ice, and somehow we all just started to laugh and talk, and we got closer. And now, 2.5 years later, I'm literally best friends with everyone that I work with, and I freaking love my team. So it could have powerful effects. Sometimes what I've noticed for me, and it starts happening only 6 months later for some reason. So maybe you still have some limited beliefs to work on, which is fine. We're all human. We're all working on ourselves. So don't be discouraged when maybe you visualize, oh, I'm going to New York and it's gonna only happen in 6 months. And to that point, it might be you co-creating with the universe. So you are visualizing what you want, but the universe still needs to, put that into fruition. But I personally think that things happen for a reason, and if you're not meant to have something, you're truly not meant to have it. Not right now, maybe you're meant to have it in the future, but as long as you know that you've tried your best and you visualize and you have a goal and you're working towards it and it's still not happening, that's something that wasn't meant for you or is not meant for you in the moment. And people always say, I want this or something better. With that, I'm going to leave you guys. I hope that this really provided you with some value, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!